up in the morning, poured myself some coffee, cooked the kids some breakfast. Man, my life is hectic, but the only thing that I can seem to think about is you. People always asking, what would Jesus do? I guess that everybody else is thinking about you too. All around the world, what they talk about is you. Drive me crazy if I didn't hold your hand. Cause no matter where I go, I never, ever go without you. I just couldn't do it, no, I wouldn't get through it. Trying to rock without you's like an engine with no fluid. I crash and I burn and I die without you.
To the Nicole Mason Show, a show where we feature phenomenal women who are using their gifts, talents, and skills to impact and move the world. And today is like no other. That's my statement that I use when we open up, because every time that you tune into the Nicole Mason Show, it is different. And today I am so excited that we have a phenomenal woman joining us who is doing just that, utilizing her gifts, talents, and skills to make impact on the world, to move the world. So let's get started. Our guest today is Lucinda Cross, the founder and creator of the Activate movement with more than 25,000 active members spanning from across the country. A best-selling author of Corporate Mom Dropout, The Road to Redemption, Overcoming Life's Obstacles and Challenges, and her most recent book, The Art of Activation. She is also the co-owner of the Supermom Entrepreneur Conference and Expo, celebrity life coach, mentor, and recognized motivational speaker. Cross was 18, a freshman in college, with her entire life in front of her, and with one life-altering choice, it changed. The campus views and the liberating spirit she had just about grown accustomed to was replaced by the dull images of gray cement floors, painted yellow lines, and the removal of her freedom. Her poor choice, one that she fully accepts as her responsibility, landed her in the federal penitentiary for 4.5 years. Since that time, though, she has been on fire to inspire, encourage, and uplift women, to teach them how to learn from their experiences, tap into their gifts and greatness, and build a business that makes a difference to them and to others. Lucinda's work is about helping women live a life of fire, fun, and freedom, which has led to national features in Essence, Black Enterprise, Daily News, Ebony, and radio and television appearances on ABC Money Matters, NBC, The Today Show, NY1, Dr. Oz, The Bethany Show, Sirius XM, Tom Joyner, and The Al Sharpton Show. Lucinda Cross is the person women call when they are ready to leverage and monetize their expertise and message, all while creating products, programs, and a signature platform. Over the past decade, she has discovered surprising trends about why certain people and businesses succeed. Today, Lucinda teaches how to communicate and captivate in a noisy world with a short attention span and the tendency to procrastinate. Welcome to the Nicole Mason Show, the phenomenal, the dynamic Lucinda Cross. Hi! Welcome to the show, sis.
I'm excited. What an introduction. My God.
Listen, I am so excited that you took the time to join us this afternoon. And, you know, I love redemption stories because that's what makes the world move, and all of this great work that you're doing. So I want to offer you this opportunity to just begin talking about the dynamic work that you're doing now. I love to back into the redemption story. So talk about the work that you are doing now, Activate Movement. Yes,
absolutely, and I just so appreciate you. Thank you so much for this platform and this opportunity. And redemption is so important. I tell everybody, you know, I'm a valley girl. Like, don't tell me about your mountaintop story. I want to know what happened in the valley.
Yes.
How'd you get out? How'd you get there to the mountaintop? You know, save the accolades for later. But for me, you know, just doing the reinvention and figuring out who I was, what I was supposed to do, why am I here, helped me to kind of just go into this redemption of what I wasn't and what I thought I was here to do. And so for me, activating is it, you know, and it took me a long road to get to my purpose, and whatever wisdom doesn't teach you, rock bottom will.
Well,
and so for me, being in that place of rock bottom, surrounded by lack of hope, lack of dreams, being stripped of your identity, and being told what to do, when to do it, I said, you know, when I get out of here, I'm going to do the complete opposite of what they say that I'm not supposed to do. So they tell me that I'm a statistic and I'm not going to have a good job, and it'll be hard for me to make it in America because I have a colorful background and I tarnish my name at such a young age. And so I decided to turn that around and not take what others were saying about me down to the counselors and the people that you think are there to support you. And so for me, Activate is just that. It's getting into action, doing what God has called you to do, remembering what your calling was, and regardless of what you've been through, allowing yourself to get out of the way, but also giving yourself permission to succeed without stopping yourself. And so Activate is just that. Don't procrastinate, activate.
I love that. And I think, that's very, very important. And I, like you, I think, being honest and transparent about where we've been really is the key to success, because it allows people to connect with us in a deeper way. And so I wanted to bring you on as we start this Women's History Month off. And the theme for this year is weaving the stories of women. And so when we tell our truth, when we tell our story, other women can find themselves in the story and connect to us, and then begin to really do what God has called them to do. And so I wanted to, and I want you to know, thank you so much for my ebook, The Art of Activation. I absolutely and thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. And so I want to talk some more about how you started the whole vision board seminars and the process, because that's something that we hear a lot about now. And I want you to talk about that and, how you were able to utilize it to bring change in your own life.
So the vision board process, before I even knew that the vision boards were called vision boards, or before there was this term of law of attraction, my mother she was very creative, and she always had me and my brothers and I doing collages of what we desired, and just being free with our colors and images. And so that stuff kind of followed me when I was inside of federal prison. And the same things that I'm doing now, the same things that I was doing back then, just different audience and different colors.
Yes.
No orange and gray.
Yes.
I'm able to see women dress to make them feel good. So I started doing the vision boards back then and started to involve other women to, what are your dreams when you get out of here? What does that look like? So I carried at that time it was a vision book. I carried my vision book and my journals with me home. And that's where it started for me in terms of seeing my life transform, because that vision board gave me hope. I was able to see what my goals and aspirations were. I was able to see what it looked like. I was able to see what did love look like. What did somebody happy, and so I created an image of the things that I desired and where I seen myself going. And I looked at that every single day inside of prison. And when I came home, that's something that I looked at as well. And I said, there's nothing that's going to stop me from pursuing these goals on this board.
That's powerful. And you were able to share that with the other ladies inside the federal penitentiary?
So inside the federal penitentiary, we started doing the vision boarding and the workshops inside.
Wow. And
it's something that now has stemmed, to, God is just really showing off now.
Yes, he is. Yeah, that's phenomenal. I think that's a powerful testament to the power of God. And, when God's hand is upon you, nothing can change it, not even you yourself. That's powerful to me. Yes.
It is, because it allows you to dream again. And I think that we get so involved. The things of God are so simple, we just complicate them. And so when you look at a vision board, it's papers, it's images, it's colors, it's cutting and pasting, but the experience and the energy that you put into it is what matters. The same thing with faith. It's something that you don't see, you know that you need to have it in order to move from one place to the next, or to achieve certain things that you don't feel that you have access to, but it's something that gives you that side. It's so simple. It's so simple, but a lot of people, because we complicate the process of do I deserve this, and is this right? And there's no right or wrong way to do a vision board. It's what is your goals? Where do you see yourself? What would you like to accomplish? And you put that up. You cut it out.
Wow. Yeah, and I agree with you. You know, it's so simple, but we always want to complicate it. I guess, you know, it's in our mind. If it's not complicated, it's not God. I don't know where that comes from, but, you know, I tend to agree wholeheartedly with you. I mean, you know, come on. God is everywhere. He's in everything. And, you know, if we just follow our hearts. Last week I had Valerie Burton on, and I love her book, her new book, where she just says, follow the green lights. And that's, you know, what I hear you saying as well. Just follow your heart and follow what's in your heart to get where you need to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just follow. Exactly. That's it. Follow what's in your heart. I mean, we are an example of what God's vision board looks like.
Wow.
We are his manifestation of his vision. So
I love that.
If he said that we should do greater things, like, I mean, it's, to me, I wake up and I'm getting chills even thinking about it, that I think, you know, God, what are we going to manifest today? What are you going to do today? Because, you know, if I'm a manifestation of your vision and your vision board, this whole world, you created everything. It was first something that wasn't even here, and you placed it here, and now you've given me the same access to do the same thing just by tapping into you. Come on, why not? It doesn't cost a thing.
Yes,
that's the thing. It doesn't cost to mentor with the mentor. Doesn't cost a thing. It doesn't cost a thing.
Wow. Now you can get something started today, sis, because I felt that. I felt that when you said that, you know. Listen, we are God's vision board. Somebody better tweet that, because that is so true. And, you know, when I hear you, I'm so inspired, you know. My heart is racing, because it's like, yeah, you know, that's really it. When you see the vision, you know, then you have to put some action to it. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you know, how you began to put feet to what you saw in your vision, put it onto the paper. And I love the way you started out. It's just so simple. It's just some paper. It's cutting out some pictures. It's putting it up. But then it turns into something powerful.
Absolutely. Because you have to do the work. You have to do the work. A lot of people don't want to do the work. It's easy to cut and paste, and some people even make that part difficult. But you have to do the work, and before you even do the work, you have to focus on what work you're going to do. And a lot of people are all over the place, and I kind of tell them, stick with what I call the Fab Five. You know, stick with on your vision board or on your goal sheet or your whatever your aspirations are for the year. Make sure that you cover your family, your friends, your finances, your fitness, and your faith. And if you cover those 5 areas, at least you'll be balanced and focused and moving forward. What do you need to do, or what would you like to do with your family? How can you become a better mom? How can you become a better dad? My kids do vision boards, so I tell them, how can you be a better, bigger brother or sister? You know, what are some of the things that you would like to do in terms of your family? And so then your faith, you know, are you praying enough? Are you reading your word? Are you fellowshipping enough? Are you fellowshipping outside of the church? You know, are you just taking some time to meditate and be silent? Are you putting your faith in action? You know, so even with your faith, you know, how are you moving and being a demonstration of what somebody who's a believer looks like and acts like? And so, you know, just going down the line, fitness, finances, and then your friends, making sure you cover these 5 areas on your vision board. And you take small steps, but you have that major goal. That one on my vision board is one major goal that I look forward to accomplishing. And then around that one major goal, I have smaller goals that I know that I'll push towards, and even those smaller goals are large.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's powerful. And we have some pictures that we're showing now of just one of the seminars that you've put on as it relates to creating the vision board. And, I think this is just powerful. And, God's timing is perfect because, this concept isn't anything that's new, but it seems to have a new energy with it. It seems to have a new fire. I love that. It seems to have a new fire with it. And so tell me what you think that energy is stemming from.
Because people are frustrated. Mm-hmm. And so when you get frustrated enough, you make change. And so what I do think is that people are tired of being hoodwinked and bamboozled, tricked, their money taken because, you get 7 figures in 7 hours, and so people are tired and they're going back to the basics. And that's where we need everybody to be. And so the fire, I think, is coming from people just being frustrated, being tapped out, and now ready to go back to the basics of what works and looking for something that's simple, yet it requires them to think.
Yeah, and that's powerful. So tell me, when people have come to your seminars and they've put together the vision board, talk a little bit about some of the success stories that have come from people that you've worked with, just as an encouragement to those who are listening, who may be on the fence perhaps about working with you, doing a vision board, coming to your upcoming seminars, working with you in your coaching programs. Just share some of those success stories.
Absolutely. So outside of the vision board, it's all part of, I do lifestyle coaching, which is, a fancy way of saying I'm a life coach.
Yes.
And and so it's part of the process of what I take my clients through. But with the vision boards, some ladies have started their business. One particular lady just recently, she started her vision board in January, and now she's already up and running with her bakery business out of her home. And now, she has orders, just coming from everywhere because she put that as her major goal. And things start to line up when you are aware of and you're focused on one specific thing. You start to become a magnet for all of the resources, the finances, the team. You become a magnet for all the things that you need because it was already there. It's just you weren't aware of it. And so what's happening now is everybody is having this awakening of, oh my gosh, I didn't realize even in my own phone book that I had these contacts and these connections, and people are getting opportunities. And I say this is not something that's just happening. It's not a coincidence. It's just that these things have always been there. You just weren't in a mental position to see it because we're seeing with one eye and we're not looking at the vision, the bigger vision. So, a lot of my clients, outside of just having best-selling books and platforms that are just really rocking, and starting from nothing, from, and when I say nothing, having so many different business ideas and 1 week they're doing this and the next week they're doing the rapid and the next week they're doing the tea and the next week, they're still trying to find their way in their purpose. And so what we do, even with the vision board process, is put you right back on track and say, stay right here. Stay right here a little bit longer. You haven't even put in enough skin in the game to leave yet. So you don't even have permission to leave. So stay right here.
Yes.
And let God do what He needs to do. And if He doesn't do it, then I'll take the weight. But I'm so for sure on what God is doing in my life and what He's doing there that I can stand on it.
Yeah, that's powerful. You don't have permission to move. I love that. So let's back up because you said something that I think that is very pivotal, particularly as it relates to women. When you said focus on the one thing and stay right there. Now, you know as well as I, we are multi-talented, multi-gifted, and we try to multitask. So talk a little bit about your advice on just staying focused on the one thing, to to eliminate the others while you're honing that particular thing.
And you know what's funny, because you do see it with a lot of women. I have a few good men that I coach, but the majority of women, because we want to tap in and we're so gifted and talented, it's not that you don't use all that God has given you, because you want to die empty. That's my goal. I want to die completely empty.
Yes.
But when you get into your sweet spot, which is your purpose or what God has called you to do, you'll realize that all those other things come into alignment, and you'll find a place for them and where they go. And some ideas and some things see that you need to pass down to other people after you have brought them to a certain level. And so it's first get on purpose with this one thing and see it full out. Because if your goal is to, Lucinda, I want to write a book, I want to speak on stages, I want to coach women, well, guess what? Let's start with the book. And you'll see how the message in the book will give you the message for the stage, which will give you so you go from the stage to now being able to help others, because now you are a living example of your book and your words. And so now you're coaching people. So everything, now you're able to put together programs and products out of it. So one thing leads to like a million other things, and you see how it leads in.
Wow.
So I share that I'm great with cooking. I love to cook. I'm great with cooking, but my goal is not to have a restaurant. But what I can do is in my workshop, if it's close enough, I can cook for my people. I can cook for my events and cater my own events if I feel like it. If not, I know that God has somebody who absolutely loves to do the catering and will do it. But not everything is for us. So I leave my cooking for my honey, for my husband. And so, I sample and cater to him. Like, home is also another job. Home is also another ministry.
Right.
Home is also another, it's also a part of your purpose as well. And so just because you cook really great doesn't mean that you need to open up a restaurant. Maybe you need to feed those that's in your house the right food, so.
Yeah, that's good. And the imagery that I just received as you were talking about that, it's one of a tree. When you start, you have that root and you have the bark, and then you have all of the branches that go out. But it's a part of that same tree, stemming from that same set of roots. But, you have these different branches that each have their own, leaves that are blooming, but they're all related to the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's powerful, because you make it sound just what it is, very, very simple and within reach, because I think so many women and the few good men, yes, we have so many things that we can offer the world, and it's just kind of getting clear on, okay, where do I start? So let's talk about that a little bit. If somebody's saying, okay, well, Lucinda, I hear you. Where do I start? Because, I really like to do this. So I like to cook. I like to write. I think I'm a great speaker. But where do I start?
So it's always first things first, and a lot of times we do second things first, right? So first things first is to get out the good old paper and pen, not your cell phone, not your computer. Get out the good old paper or number 2 pencil. I'm a number 2 pencil kind of girl, and your notepad, and you just begin to write. What are the things that you like to do? What are the things that you used to like to do that you no longer do anymore? What makes you happy? What frustrates you? So the questions are asking yourself a series of questions and really tapping into, well, what do I like? What did I used to do? What really frustrates me? Because the frustration part is where you provide the solution, which God has given you a specific way to solve a problem based on a frustration you have. Then remembering the things that you like will give you fuel, because now you can incorporate that into doing more of the things that you like. And it just allows you to free yourself. So I would say the first step is to just be free. Stop looking at what other people are doing. Stop trying to figure out if you need to do what they're doing because they seem successful at it, and maybe you can be successful at it. Don't think about the fact that, you had that same idea just go back to the drawing board. First things 1st. Mm-hmm. What are your values? What are your, what do you really value? Mm-hmm. Define those values. Mm-hmm. What's important to you? Health, happiness, all of the above. Mm-hmm. And thinking and asking yourself some really critical questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. So I hear you saying a few things. And so the first thing that I heard was, all the answers that we need for our lives dwell on the inside of us. God has placed himself on the inside of us. And so we just need to still ourselves, get quiet, get that paper and that pencil, pen, and begin to write. That's the first thing I heard you say. Then secondly, the next thing that I heard loudly and clearly is that we should not compare ourselves to others. The Bible is clear that we should not put any confidence in flesh, meaning that we should not depend on what our eyes see versus what our spirit knows. So we know that we all have a gift, and some of us are multi-gifted from God. The word of God says that he gave one talent, 1 3, 1 10, 5 to double. And so we all have these giftings. And then, I hear you that just be still and not put a whole lot of pressure on ourselves, but just really engage the process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even if you start out with, just being grateful, because God is not going to fill our plate with more than if we haven't even finished what's on our plate. And I share it in my presentation. You don't give your kids more to eat if they haven't finished what's on their plate. So many of us haven't even finished what's on our plate and haven't even recognized the sweet nectar that we already had on our plate. But maybe for the next 30 days, just write down every single blessing that you receive every day for those 30 days and put them in a jar or put them in a box so that you can begin to reflect on what has happened and taken place in your life over the past 30 days. And you'll see how blessed you are. Getting awareness and getting clarity on what you need to do, where you need to go, and what's next starts with gratitude and being grateful and even seeing those small blessings, the small miracles that you wouldn't normally recognize.
Yes.
You put those in the jar.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, we're going to take a short music break. We'll be right back with Lucinda Cross. We're going to hear all about the events she has coming up, learn where she might be near you as it relates to her tour. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Come on, come on. God called you to speak everything that you're wanting to see. Answered prayers are yours if you only have faith and belief. By His word, I'm breaking my world today. I can freely proclaim changes. I said till it changes. Speak the word until it changes. Speak it till it changes. Until it changes. Until it changes. Speak a word. Speak a word. Just get you a scripture. Until it changes. When you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, just speak the word until it changes. Speak till it changes. Oh, speak it until it changes. I said speak the word of God, because it has power and it has authority. No weapon that's formed against you will be able to prosper. Just remember to speak the word. Like this one, wealth and riches are in my house, so I'm going to hold on to that word, and I'm going to speak the word. No good thing will he withhold from you if you walk upright before him. Just speak the word in your life until it changes. Just speak the word, speak the word, speak the word, speak the word, speak the word until it changes.
We are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. And so, Lucinda, please tell the audience how they can connect with you via all your social media platforms.
Absolutely. I say this not to sound crazy, but I say I'm Googleicious. So you put me into Google and you can connect with me. So this way we don't go through the rundown. But I'm Googleicious. And you put Lucinda Cross in, you can connect with me on Instagram. That's my favorite place to hang out.
Okay.
Twitter is at Lucinda Speaks, and Facebook is Lucinda Cross as well. And my website is lucindacross.com. So everything is kind of branded out.
Good. Excellent. Okay. And so share with the audience where they might be able to participate in one of your upcoming seminars, connect with you with your speaking engagements, and where they may find you on this wonderful tour that you're embarking upon.
Absolutely. So on my website at lucindacross.com, I have a tab that says training and courses. You can sign up for anything. We have stuff from goal setting to branding yourself and learning how to market. And then the vision board parties is also up there right under the tab called Vision Board Parties on my site, and they can kind of connect with me there. And, you know, a lot of the information that I share is on my list. It's free to join my e-list. And you become a part of, I have a 6-week e-course called You Got It, and that's for free. And so it's a lot of free giveaways and a lot of great information at the site, lucindacross.com.
Good. Excellent. So we've been having this wonderful conversation about the vision board and just bringing to pass what God has placed on the inside of us. Let's talk a little bit about this year for you. You have been going strong. I mean, you are everywhere, and I'm so excited for you. So I also want you to tell the audience where they may go on to YouTube, maybe see some of the previous interviews that you've done, Today's Show. I know you were in Essence. So talk a little bit about some of those other platforms that people can read about you, read about your work, and get to see you in print.
Sure. So, I mean, I was just blessed to be inside of the January issue of Essence. You can get a back issue of the January Essence for 2015. And I was there on page 85. I did a big page 85 campaign. This Sunday, I'll be in the New York Post. You'll see an awesome interview there if you get the New York Post. Just go into YouTube, you'll see some of the links from the Today Show, from the Arise TV, sharing great information, different information on each platform, so you can get a little bit of encouragement along the way.
Good. Excellent. Yeah, that's awesome. So I want to ask you about any upcoming sessions that you may be having locally that people might put on their schedules somewhere in the DMV, somewhere that's local to where we are here taping from, or near you, New Jersey, so that people might find out and show up. I know it's on the website, but just wanted to share that if you have the dates right off the top of your head.
Yes, I do. So on March 15th, I have a big celebrity and media vision board party. That will be in New York. Okay. But the exciting one that I'm really, really excited about is coming up in the DMV area, Silver Springs. And so that, so that will be, yes. So that will be in April. So you have enough time to well, not even enough time because these tickets go fast, but April 25th, I'll be in Silver Springs. We'll send you the information once you register, Silver Springs, Maryland, and that's from 12 to 3, and you can sign up also at my site. So we have Texas coming up, we have Maryland coming up, we have the New York one coming up, but I would love to see everyone in Maryland on April 25th.
Excellent. Yeah, and we do have the promo for the celebrity vision board. And if you are a publicist and you are representing some celebrities and you want them to work with Lucinda for this private coaching on Sunday, March 15th, please be sure to go to her website and register your client there. I'm certain that it's going to be an awesome event. The session that we're going to be having in the DMV on April the 25th, there's going to be more information about that. I'm so excited that she's going to be coming our way, and I'm looking forward to getting all of the promo materials out, and we'll be sharing that on the show, on her website, on the show's website. And I'm looking forward to having you all to join her in person. And I'm going to be there. So excited to be sharing in that time with you next in April. So our time, of course, the time always seems to go so quickly when you're having fun. But I wanted to offer you the opportunity to, share a final word of encouragement to our viewers, just so that people will know that, as long as you have hope, you still have an opportunity to make changes in your life.
Yes. So here's one thing that I really try to help to instill in my clients and people that I come across. Your life can be whatever you want it to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to take no or rejection for an answer. You don't have to settle. You have no obligation to yourself but to create an extraordinary life. That's the only obligation that you have to yourself, to make it extraordinary. And the time to do that is now, not yesterday, not when you think you'll have enough time, when you think you'll have enough money, but the time to do that is right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. The only obligation you have to yourself is to create an extraordinary life. That's really, really awesome. One of the other things before we wrap up, we have a few minutes. When you say extraordinary life, now, we're going to go back to what you said earlier. We shouldn't compare ourselves to others. So what's your definition of an extraordinary life?
For me, it's being able to have the wealth, my health, the love of my family, with my husband here to support. Family means everything to me. So an extraordinary life for me means that I have more than enough money in the bank. I'm living in the land of more than enough. I have more than enough love when I come home. Being able to do what I do, and I love the work that I do, and then just coming home to just living in a land of more than enough. That's what I strive for, not just enough, not just making it, but having more than enough, and that's all that I can give. That's all I can give. So that's being able to do what you want when you want, how you want it, and with who you wanted to do it with. Of course, and ethically right, but and having your morals, but being able to do what you desire without feeling and worrying about judgment from anybody else and human beings.
Yeah, that's awesome. The other thing too, I think, that's what the Bible says. Jesus said, "I came that you might have life and have life more abundantly." So that abundance, we give out of the abundance and not out of the lack, because that's what we've been instructed to do. One other thing I do want to ask you, when we start to talk about the extraordinary life, talk a little bit for the few moments that we have about risk taking, because I think that is critically important too, because so many times people are so used to the status quo that they don't want to take any risks. So talk about risk taking as it relates to having an extraordinary life.
And that's the only way that you can, because we can't live in the safe zone. The safe zone is where you're questioning sometimes we just question the life out of a dream. We question and self-doubt, and have so much fear. And so risk-taking is doing the thing that you're not sure of, and getting out of your own consciousness, out of your own mind, and allowing God to take control. And so it's really not a risk if you look at it, because he always will make sure that your best is at hand. And so I had to do a lot of risk taking, and it's a lot of discipline, and that's a lot of sacrifice to get the things that you desire and to live the life that you desire. But it's a requirement. It truly is. And so in taking those risks is, what are you afraid of? What's the worst thing that could happen? That you make it, or that you figure out that it didn't work that way and you need to try another way?
Yeah, that's powerful. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the dynamic Lucinda Cross, who has shared with us so wonderfully today. I encourage you to connect with her. Google her. I love that. She's Googlelicious. I love that. Put in her name, Lucinda Cross, and you can connect with her on all of her various platforms. For those of you who are in the DMV, you are getting a heads up now. So I want to encourage you to get your tickets for April the 25th. She's going to be in Silver Spring, and she's going to have more of that information on her website. And we'll also be sharing that here on the show and on our various platforms as well. So thank you so much, my dear sister. I so appreciate you. Look forward to meeting you in person on the 25th. And I'm a huge fan of what you're doing to transform the lives of others after having transformed your own life. What a powerful testimony to the power of our God. So thank you so much, and we'll chat soon. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to encourage you this afternoon to begin to really focus on your goals, what it is that you are looking to do for the year. We are still in the first quarter here of 2015, and you have ample time to plan your work and work your plan. It's all up to you. Everything that you need really is at your fingertips, but you have to begin to talk to other people about what's in your heart. That way you really come to know who's doing what resources are available to you. Everything you need is at your fingertips. So I want to encourage you to make sure that you begin to plan your work your plan. And for those of you who might be discouraged, I want to encourage you this afternoon that as long as you have breath, you always have an opportunity to make things different, to make things happen in your life. And God, when he touches us in the morning with his finger of love and his finger of mercy, you have the awesome opportunity to wake up with a spirit of gratefulness and to begin to put a plan of action into place because you have everything you need on the inside of you. So as we wrap up this afternoon, I just want to encourage you to join me on tomorrow morning, Wednesday mornings, and Friday mornings for our prayer call. The number is on my Facebook page. You can certainly go there and get the number to call in. And I led my prayer ministry for the last 8 years. Took a break, and so we are starting again for our prayer call. And you can certainly get the number from the Facebook page. If you have pen and paper, I'll give it to you now. 712-775-7000, and the passcode is 615323. I'll say it again, 712-775-7000. The passcode is 615323. That's how long I've had that number. I know it by heart. And so please join us tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow morning and on Friday morning, we'll be praying. And if you have prayer requests, you can certainly log on to my Facebook page, inbox me. You can send those to me, and we'll be certain to add those to our prayer book. Okay? So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon on the Nicole Mason Show. And be sure to join us tomorrow morning for prayer. Again, 712-775-7000, passcode 615323. I am confident that the Lord will bless you when you join us for prayer. I always give a short word from the Lord during our prayer calls, and then we go into prayer. So join us tomorrow morning to jumpstart your day. Again, 712-775-7000, passcode 615323. Thank you so much for joining us, and tune in again next week, because you never know who you're going to meet on the Nicole Mason Show. God bless you. Have a great afternoon.
This is not the time to get distracted, and this is not the time to go off course. This is not the time to lose your focus. Got a work to do for the Lord, and you cannot